So since Bob retired, we have finally been able to make an arrangement with Penn State Extension where we get to meet Extension agents from really all across the platform and really enjoying the conversations. This is our third week, and we get to meet another of our Penn State experts, because that's what these folks really are. They're experts in their field, and sometimes they're experts actually out in the field. And today we talked to Dustin Heeter. Dustin is joining us here this morning, and he's a livestock educator, and we're going to learn about what he does and what the Penn State Livestock Education Program does. And our visit this morning is presented, as all of our visits are, by Marcus & Mack, voted best law firm and best personal injury lawyer 4 years in a row in the Best of Indiana County contest. Visit them online at marcusandmack.com. Dustin, good morning.
Good morning, Todd. Great to be here this morning.
I'm glad you're with us here today. He's based in Westmoreland County, but you live right here in Indiana County, huh?
I do. I live in Clarksburg area.
Yeah.
I've lived here in Indiana County for about 29 years now, I guess, and been with Extension for that same period of time.
Yeah, well, it's hard to leave this area, I'll tell you what. All right, so let's talk a little bit about livestock and what you do, because your platform is not just here in this neighborhood. You actually can cover anywhere in the state, correct?
Correct. When I started in Extension, Todd, I covered 3 counties, being Indiana, Westmoreland, and Armstrong County, doing livestock education, which means I work with producers and help them in many facets of their operation. I may work with folks with a few backyard chickens up to people that are running a commercial feedlot with 500 to 700 head of beef cattle in it. So I truly cover the gamut. Most of my experience and expertise are going to be dealing with beef cattle. And I now get the opportunity to cover the state and work with producers across the state, mostly in the beef cattle field.
Yeah, so you've got some beef meetings coming up, don't you?
We do. Probably the closest and most outstanding opportunity for folks is the Western PA Cattle Feeders, which is being held on April the 8th at the Westmoreland County Extension office at 6:30 p.m. And that evening, we have the opportunity to have 2 folks from State College here. Dr. Tara Felix will be talking about emerging issues in the beef industry, and our new meat scientist at Penn State, Sam Watson, will be talking about the process of aging beef once it's harvested and how that affects the taste and tenderness of it. And we'll actually be doing some tasting of different products. And so that should be a really great evening for people to experience some things that they don't normally have the opportunity of doing.
I think it's kind of interesting and well, fascinating, really, when you're talking about beef, because, there are a lot of dairy farmers that when they retire from milking cows, they put cows out in the field and you just can't walk away from it. So they start raising beef cattle. And you're right, there could be a 4-herd group, or you could have a 500-600 in a herd. It's amazing the gamut that it runs, but the issues can be the same: disease prevention, proper feed and nutrition, what turns out the best product for you, and all of those could be covered in one of these meetings, I assume.
Truly, they are. We provide education that touches all of those things, because truly a livestock producer is a jack of all trades, and they rely on experienced people to help them move their operation through to success, and Penn State really does that. We've got expertise that can help people address any of those issues. We really cover the gamut on the experiences we can bring to someone.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's more than just let them eat grass in the summertime, and in the wintertime feed them hay and just let them go grow. It's more than just that. The mineral content of what cows are eating is really an interesting subject to me because it's true that what they put in is going to reflect in what gets out, what you get out of a beef. So you're thinking about what you're feeding your cows to turn out what is going to be the best beef product, and that can differ really from area to area, can't it?
It can. When you think about the basics of nutrition on the animal side, oftentimes we think it's simple. We're just feeding a cow or we're just feeding a hog, but it's really a lot deeper than that. And truly, in beef cattle or dairy cattle, any ruminant animal, we're not truly feeding the animal. We're feeding hundreds and millions of microbes inside that animal, and those microbes are actually taking the foodstuffs that animal consumes, interacting with it, breaking it down, and then the animal is using the byproducts of those microbes. So it's really an intricate relationship that exists inside that animal's rumen and digestive tract. So it's vastly more intense than what people think.
Dustin, tell me about hormones and how they play into this mix. There are some who make a really big deal, and I think justifiably so, about not feeding hormones into their cows, whereas there are others for whom hormones are just a part of the regular routine. What's the mix, and is there a blend that is the perfect formula there, or is there no such thing?
Well, I'd like to start off by saying that every living organism has hormones in it. So I really think that people need to back up the statement of saying my beef has no hormones, my chicken has no hormones, my broccoli and asparagus have no hormones, because every living creature has hormones in it, and they're a natural part of every living creature. There are some additives that are used, that can be used in production agriculture. And when you look at those added hormonal responses, it is amazing the misconception that goes out there across the board. If you talk about implanting cattle, so an implant is a small pellet that is placed in the ear of cattle, and it helps to make them more efficient. It helps them to grow at a increased rate, but we're not talking, Superman compared to regular man. We're talking small increases. If you look at the actual hormone increase that is in that, there's about, and don't quote me exactly, but there's a much larger, saying 50-fold amount of hormone in a cup of broccoli than there is in the same proportional size of beef. So it's really something that, if that is a buzzword to you, I would encourage you to look deeper into scientific research that talks about that area, and that is something that Penn State could certainly help provide you, whether it be from the livestock team or whether it be from the food and nutrition team. We could certainly help you to answer some of those questions.
Dustin Heeter, livestock educator with Penn State Extension, joining us here this morning on Indiana in the Morning. When you have a beef meeting such as the one you were just telling us about, I would imagine it's a pretty lively discussion, because farmers are not just guys and gals who are raising animals. They're actually all scientists when it gets right down to it, aren't they?
Yeah, they are, and I would say that we're all known for having a passion about what we do. Mm-hmm. And so those people that are involved in production agriculture feel strongly about what they do. And I think it's important that we think about the fact that all of those folks have families as well, and they're not going to raise those animals in a manner or use anything that they would not want the end product winding up on their family plate as well. So they're passionate about animal care, they're passionate about providing a good product, and they're passionate about being members of our community as well.
Yeah, absolutely. You really have to admire the amount of work that goes into what it is that they do, but they're never really off. A farmer is never really resting. There's always something going on inside the brain there that is helping to understand what is going to be the best way to produce. In this case, we're talking about cows, but really about anything. If you're talking hay farming, if you are talking corn farming, raising vegetables, raising animals, it really is a scientific type of endeavor, and you just have to admire that they're able to put in all of this work, and it's just fascinating. The technology, I'm sure, must be a thrill too, right?
It is, and it's a constantly moving target. I'll tell you, some of the technologies that are really evolving right now in the cattle world are kind of AI enhanced to a degree, or really focused on some of that technology. There is a new fencing program that is a virtual fence, much like you would put in your yard to keep your dog in the yard. That technology is moving forward on livestock, where they are able to collar cattle, and you can set an area on your phone with an app, and that collar will buzz, and much the same as your dog collar, when that cow approaches the boundaries that you set on your phone, she's then deterred and turns around, and there's no longer the post and wire fencing system that has traditionally been there. So that's an upcoming technology. There's also the ability to use collars that tell us the fluctuation in body temperature, the amount of steps, the amount of rumination that a cow is going through. And all of those things lead us to know whether she might be starting to become sick, whether she's entering heat and we want to breed that cow. The technology in those fields are just going at a very rapid pace.
Yeah, absolutely. And those can all be topics for future discussions when Dustin returns to us here on Indiana in the Morning, particularly the breeding process, which to me, again, I keep using that word fascinating, but it really is. It's more than just a little bit interesting. Hey, Dustin, thanks so much for the visit this morning. We'll look forward to talking to you again in the future.
That'll be great. I look forward to those conversations as well.
Dustin Heeter, Penn State Extension livestock educator. Have a great day, Dustin.
Thank you. You too, Todd.
It's Indiana in the Morning on WCCS 101.1 FM, AM 1160, and WCCSradio.com.